WCB Podcast, your source for all things Chicago Blackhawks and everything hockey. With your host, Jarom and Tanner. Let's do it. Jarom and Tanner.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB Podcast. It's Jarom, it's Tanner. What's up, bud?
Oh, nothing. Just we're nearing the end of the season. We're round 3 of 4. It's good hockey, too. It's real good.
It is good hockey. Everything we knew what was going to happen happens. Well, actually, I knew what was going to happen. You were an idiot and went with your heart this time.
Yeah, I typically do that. I like to make it sound like I know exactly what's going to happen, but most of the time I'm wrong. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Tanner, Tanner, a.k.a. Mr. I'm not picking them until they prove me wrong. Pick someone gets proven wrong or doesn't get proven wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll talk about the Leafs and clearly make it about the Blackhawks because it's what we do best is making everything about the Blackhawks.
That's the only reason to talk about it.
Not a lot going on in Hawks world right now. Just one major thing. It is a big thing, but it's the main highlight of the week right now for us recording. The 38th head coach in franchise history is going to be announced tomorrow, Thursday, today, or whenever you're listening to this. And it is expected to be Jeff Blashill.
Yeah.
Former Detroit Red Wing head coach. He is currently an assistant on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tanner, you have all of his accolades, and we're talking about everything that he's done in his rise to the top ranks. So why don't you take it away and fill in everybody who this next coach is?
Yes. So everybody may know him or may be most fond of what he's done with just how he coached Detroit, right? From 2019. Oh, wait, here, I have it right here. I'm an idiot. 2015-16 to 21-22. It was the start of the decline for Detroit. His first season, they made it to the playoffs, lost to Tampa, and then from there kind of went downhill. But yeah, for the most part, I'm just going to put it out there. It was not because of his coaching. That team was on the downhill slide.
I was going to say, I'm going to jump in and say this was also the time when Lindstrom was getting older, Zetterberg.
Datsyuk literally retired within the first season or two.
This was the team that was built around those guys and really didn't focus on their farm system and
oh yeah, I don't even know if they hadn't used a first round pick in 15 years. I think it was something crazy.
So okay, continue with his resume.
Anyway, before he gets there, this is what is good. He was a coach for a USHL team called the Indiana Ice. And this is in 2008, because I'm not going to go before that because he was just kind of an assistant coach for Miami University or in Ferris State. But his first head coaching role, and he was general manager, was with Indiana Ice in 2008. And in that first season, they won the USHL championship. Not too shabby. Right?
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. The following year, he became the Western Michigan University head coach. Is it the following year? Oh, sorry. It's the year after. He was the Indiana Ice head coach for 2 years. And then the next year, he was Western Michigan's head coach. And Western Michigan, at the time, wasn't seeing very much success. Not like this past season where they, won it all. But at that moment, he led Western Michigan to a top 4 finish in the CCHA and the CCHA championship game, as well as their first appearance in 15 years. Or no, it was just the most successful season in 15 years. But they also had an appearance in the tournament at the end of the year, NCAA tournament. So after that one season, he was named the USCHO Coach of the Year. He was Inside College Hockey Coach of the Year, as well as College Hockey News Coach of the Year, which is pretty great, right? Say that, good coach gets a lot of accolades.
Lots of development coaching and getting players to the next level.
Yeah. So just after the 1 year in Western Michigan, he gets brought onto Mike Babcock's team as an assistant coach for the Detroit Red Wings in 2011. He's literally just there with Babcock for one season before they transition him to be the head coach of the Grand Rapids Griffins. And guess what? First year with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Calder Cup.
Boom.
That's kind of nice. And then after that, there was 2 more years with Grand Rapids and playoffs both times. The following year after the Calder Cup, they went to the conference semifinals and lost. And then the year after that, they went to the conference finals. And then that's when he took over as the head coach of Detroit because, they kicked Babcock to the curb. And that was just the unfortunate slide, the start of the slide for Detroit. Not much to work with. Aging veterans, kind of like an in-between team that took a while to finally say like they're needing to rebuild. Other than that, as like his head coaching kind of experience, he has spent the last few years in Tampa. And some people you mentioned to me earlier before was like online, they're like, he hasn't head coached since Detroit. Now that like he's not going to be good. It's like, okay, that's fine, but he's been an assistant in Tampa.
So the pushback was people were talking about his Grand Rapid days and what he did well, and he was seen as a great developing coach and working with younger players, and people were like, well, he hasn't been in an AHL developing coach in 10 years or 10 plus years, whatever it was. That's what people were kind of pushing back on and saying like it's not going to work with. They're like, you're bringing in a coach to develop like Bedard and Azar, all these guys, and you're bringing a guy that hasn't done this in like 10 plus years. That's not how that works, but okay.
Yeah. But they like are completely disregarding that this guy has spent the last few seasons literally as the assistant coach to one of I want to say the longest tenured coach in the NHL.
I believe so. Yeah, I looked it up.
One of the more currently successful coaches in the NHL. I'd say like that's pretty fucking good experience to gain. Right?
100%. Oh, dude, don't do a fucking countdown, you stupid nerds.
For what?
John Cooper is the longest tenure.
Yeah.
They're doing 1 or 10, 9, 8, 7.
Who is? What are you talking about?
Just list the website that I Googled to see who the longest tenure. Instead of just listing them, it's like, here's the 10th, here's the 9th, here's the 7th.
It's not like it's a fucking rating system. It's
dude, like, just list them.
They've either been there long enough or they haven't. Like you can't rate them. You can't rate them based on how long they've been somewhere. That's so dumb. So John Cooper, one of the best coaches in the league right now. He's just been assistant coaching under him. You figure he might pick up a thing or two from that guy. Yeah. Like how to run a team, especially a championship caliber team. He already knows how to develop players. You think that he just fucking forgets how to do that? Like,
no, man, you don't do it. It's like, 40-year-old virgin. Is it true? If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, right. It's just funny to me that people will try and like do whatever they can to discredit like the choices that the Hawks make. When I think this is actually this is really funny on the Wikipedia page. It says that he's the coach of the Blackhawks.
Is it?
Yeah, it says it's. I just looked at the first line. It says Jeff Blashill is an American professional ice hockey coach who is the head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks of the National Hockey League. It's like, okay, somebody already updated that. It sounds good. But I think this honestly could be one of like. it has the possibility to be like the perfect signing. A guy that has experience developing players as well as spending the last few years learning under pretty much like learning, but like gaining experience under like one of the best head coaches in the league. So he knows how to develop players. He knows how a championship team should be working. This could be really good.
He's had his cup of coffee in the NHL. It didn't work out.
Yep.
Gets an opportunity.
I'm sure he's learned from the mistakes that were made.
Exactly.
Guaranteed.
So
guaranteed.
That is what I'm really excited about. It's because it's like it's not a first-time coach. It's a coach that was there. He failed. So now I want to see how he learned from that. And especially, like you said, you hit home, learning from under John Cooper and all that kind of stuff. 7
years as a head coach in the NHL, 537 games. That's not a small amount of time. That's a good amount of experience.
So he knows he has the base. It didn't work out. He's had the opportunity to learn under John Cooper. Now I'm excited to see what he can do. He's coming in with a team that is the opposite of Detroit. It's on the upswing. You have another third overall pick coming in. You have a GM that's committed to spending some money this coming off season and is going to be in a position to, well, I mean, I don't know. You're not going to spend a lot of money, but it seems like there's going to be a piece or two added that's going to be helpful.
I'm curious. Like you got to assume there's going to be some trades made. Like
something, yes. It's
like
you
everything that we've kind of mocked in the past and talked about. It hasn't really involved making trades. It's mainly just drafting and signing. But he's not going to sit on his fucking ass and not make any trades.
The team has 9 picks in this upcoming draft. There is zero reason to use all 9.
And we just got some confirmation on what one of those picks is going to be.
And we will get there in a second.
That's right.
But there's no reason for this team to not add pieces and to a point where I know we added pieces last year. We got excited, Teravainen, still great ad. I love bringing Teravainen back. I think he is going to have a great second season back with us next year because now that he's got he knows his role now and how he's going to play.
I think especially what's good about him is that he finished the year really strong.
Yes.
He was one of the best players on the team from like February on.
Correct. Yeah. And speaking to him too, real quick, he tied a world championship record for most assists in a game with 6.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. But
it's like Hungary or something.
Yeah. I don't know. Actually, I think it was Kazakhstan, honestly.
Oh.
But anyway, it's like we had this excitement last year with Bertuzzi, Teravainen, and those are like the 2 main pieces. I know you're shaking your head with Bertuzzi. It didn't turn out like what we were kind of hoping for. We're kind of hoping it was like he was going to find himself in like a less of a high tense situation.
Speaking of Bertuzzi, though, with Blashill, they have history.
Oh.
I wonder if he can get Bertuzzi to fucking get it
together.
No, get it together the whole fucking year. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but it's like you had that excitement last year, and that was just let's just put a team together so we have a team to play. And we're taking a little bit of stuff, we're adding some guys. Hopefully, we win like 10 more games. Didn't work out that way.
Nope.
Now I feel this year, after the way the season ended with the play of Nazar, the emergence of Rinzel. You have Levshunov coming up and showing that he's ready to play in the NHL in seriously in a top 4 role already.
I mean, I personally think that maybe Levshunov starts in the A still.
He probably could. I mean, I wouldn't doubt that. Yeah,
I wouldn't hate it if that was the case. I just think that Rinzel's more NHL ready.
Yeah.
Either way, whatever. They'll figure that out.
Yeah. But it's like you add all that, you bring in some pieces coming in to add to that. You have a coach that is hungry to prove that he's better than what his first experience was. Like, this is just the perfect storm for this Blackhawk team to surprise a lot of people. And again, I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team contending for the cup next year.
I am.
but there is no, like, honestly, this is without even adding the new players via trade, free agency, draft, whatever. Like, there's no reason why this team shouldn't jump up to like the 60, 70 point range.
Yeah, it would be great if they
Where do they end up finishing last year again?
Jump. 31st.
No, I know, like, point wise.
No, I'm kidding. 62, 63,
61.
Okay, sorry, I gave him a little extra credit.
So I mean, I would love to see them hit
70.
The Kraken number, like 76.
Yeah. Hey,
if
they can push 80, like Anaheim,
76, 80,
that'd be sick. I just, it really depends on what they do, what they bring in. I think that they could do it, though. I think with, a more established head coach, now they have Spencer Knight. Now they have a full season of Rinzel and Nazer. Nazer's just on fucking fire.
We'll talk about him in a second, too.
Whoever they draft this year, I mean, they may or may not be an immediate NHL impact player because of some players aren't going to, if it's Frondell, he's probably staying in Sweden for another season,
Yeah.
If it's somebody else, like, they may or may not make the jump right away. And then, like, whoever they pick up in free agency, like, rumors, or like a lot of people think that Marner is a huge target, or they just think that the Hawks absolutely need to make a big splash with, like, Besser, Ehlers, Marner, like one of those.
We'll get to that in a second, too.
Either way, the team is going to be better. And hopefully it's a better jump from this year to next year than it was from last year to this year.
What were they? When was Four Nations again? It was like the 19th, right?
February, right?
Yeah. So from after Four Nation, I want to see a game. February 18th. I'll say February 20th.
Mm-hmm. Until today.
Till end of the season.
They were bad.
Well, no, I'm just trying to see, like they weren't great. I mean, they were still 8-15-4, but it's like, it's just the game that they played. Like, they were in majority of those games, and that was with the fucking kids. The kids that are getting a cup of coffee and their taste of the NHL, and hey, this is what you need to go back to Rockford and work your ass for to get back to. Like dangling the carrot in front of them, and they were able to be a competitive team and give hope to a lot of fans who were, second guessing the decision of this rebuild and how it was going, and was Kyle Davidson making the right moves, and was he over his head doing what he's doing? And honestly, this team, I think, admit it or not, I think they silenced a lot of critics with how they finished the season. And it's just it's insane to think that there's so much more to come, and the potential is there, and that we're just at the tip of the iceberg, it feels like, on this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I think the majority of the future success for this team is still just developing. It's not this team. It's not going to happen through free agency. It's not going to happen through like massive trades. It's going to happen through the draft, which is what they've been working through. So it's still just, we'll make the strides and little jumps, but the big jumps will happen when the kids really start hitting it on a regular basis.
I think when you got the wave of, like, Rinzel and Moore, when they are coming up on their next contract extension, I feel like that is going to be the time where it's like cup or bust, no matter what. Anything but like a second, third round playoff position is a failure.
Yeah,
kind of thing. I think right now it's still too far out for that.
That's kind of 2 years from now.
Okay, I guess maybe my time frame is a little bit off. Just it feels like it, but I mean, again, who knows?
Well, yeah, because it's the burning of the contract, the burning of the year. So it makes it feel like it should be 3 years from now, but it's really only 2.
But who knows? Who knows? Maybe everything hits. The Hawks are able to get a good deal on the right free agent. They find their Marian Hossa in the next year or 2 in free agency.
Could be Marner.
We'll get to that, but yeah, I don't know. It's just we harp on it. I feel like every episode, especially now that there's no Blackhawks hockey, to be like, oh, this team's so bad, we're losing again, blah blah. But it's like now, it's like, dude, future it's fucking exciting. It is just you gotta hold on. The patience. You're so close to being there. Do not jump off this team if you're thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, we just be patient. That's really all it is. I mean, the worst years should be behind us at this point. I think there's more excitement to be had than what people think is going to happen.
Yeah. And if you're reading social media and you're getting your news from hockey insiders that write an article that are strictly for clickbait, for revenue, ad revenue, and all that kind of shit, just remember that if they're not Blackhawk fans or close to the team, they're gonna say whatever they want to make the Blackhawks look bad and to make you think that the Hawks suck and every decision they're making is wrong.
Yeah,
tune it out. WCB Podcast, the only one you can trust.
Oh, well, we got you, baby. We'll never let you down.
Come to us. Come to us. Don't worry, baby birds. We'll feed you. Come on.
Ooh. Fuck yeah, dude.
But yeah, it's going to be fun. And another reason why it's going to be so much fun is because you got players like Frank Nazar who are just talk about a fucking coming out party for the kid. He had just a great end to his season in Chicago and was just vibing and feeling it. Like he wasn't able to get, he was just little snake bitten on goals, but once they came, they came in bunches. And now he gets to play for Team USA at the World Championship. USA. And oh boy. 7 games. The preliminary round is over. 7 games. He had 11 points with 6 goals and 5 assists. And the kid is fucking buzzing out there.
Mm-hmm. He's been player of the game 3 times.
Yeah. So, I mean, is it safe to say the Hawks have their next superstar from within the system primed and ready to go?
Yeah, I just hope he can continue this to the start of next season because there's gonna be a lot of time off.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all.
That's all I say.
Yeah. Just keep it up. Keep it going. He's probably fucking feeling it right now. Can't wait. Wait. He's so good.
USA plays Finland in the quarterfinals, so it'll be Nazar versus Teravainen.
It's at 9:20, so it'll be whenever this goes up. But it's early tomorrow, Thursday.
Yeah. So hopefully the kid can get it done. What I wanted to see, I keep forgetting to look at Vlasic, how he's doing at Worlds.
He's got 2 assists, but obviously he's probably not being used as an offensive player. He's super great defensively.
So that kind of wraps. What's up?
I just can't wait for next season when Nazar's got all this confidence flying high, fucking PK 1, power play 1, and then you got fucking Rinzel playing with Vlasic, and it's just oh, gross.
And then you got Misa going with either Bedard or Nazar.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. Let's fucking go.
And then you got Mitch Marner out there, too.
Okay. So, the Toronto Maple Leafs fail again. They let down the whole country of Canada.
But do Do they fail again, or do they just Toronto again?
I think you're saying the exact same thing I'm saying.
Yeah,
just in a different. It's like you just pulled out the thesaurus there and said what I said in different words.
No. It's like, you know how there's Spanish being spoken in Spain and in Mexico. It's both called Spanish, but they're not the same language.
So Toronto losing in Game 7 again. They're now 0-5 against Brad Marchand in Game 5.
Just like I said.
Yeah, the Toronto Maple Leafs are going to sweep the Panthers.
I just thought it would be funny if it happened. I just wanted to call it. Of course it didn't fucking happen. Of course it was going Game 7.
The only thing that I was right about was the Panthers were going to win. I said that the Panthers were going to get blown out Game 1 and then just destroy them. That's 4.
Which you were closer.
I was closer. Especially if you see that they lost Game 5 and 6 or 5 and 7 by a total of 12-2 at home.
Yes,
but
that's the best.
This is a Chicago Blackhawks podcast, so how can we make this about the Blackhawks?
What's more disappointing, the Hawks lost to the Blues in the Winter Classic, or the Toronto Game 7 loss in Toronto?
Blackhawks
for us.
Yeah.
That's more disappointing.
All right, so how does this affect the Blackhawks, you may ask? Well, the Blackhawks have the Toronto Maple Leafs first round pick in the upcoming draft. And with this loss, they will be selecting 25th. Thank you, Steph Jones.
Nope.
So that's one domino that falls. The next domino is they have a certain free agent that I don't know if you've mentioned him at all today, but his name is Mitchell Marner.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, so he's going to be a free agent, and for some reason, everybody and their mother wants him in Chicago.
Yeah, and that's what I hear.
And I'm here to say, no. Bad fans. No.
Yeah. But see, I can easily convince myself that this will be fine.
There's only convince yourself.
It's because of the Toronto effect. There was no longer going to be a Toronto effect on Mitch Marner. He already puts up 104 points this year and leads Toronto in points. Granted, I think Matthews was hurt, and I don't know if Nylander was hurt at all, but he played all but one game. 102 points in 81 games. Also pretty decent two-way player. Good, he's got over 25 goals. He had 27. He had 75 assists. Great things that you can add to a team.
Still not solid.
Everybody shits on him for not scoring in the playoffs. He had 13 points in 13 playoff games with 11 assists. I think it's the tough part is just knowing whether or not this whole playoff demon that they all have will still hang over his head if he's outside of Toronto, or if it's something that he'll just completely bust through and shut out all the haters from. Obviously he's a good player. Is
still
it worth
it?
Me. Oh no, I'm not trying to sell you.
I'm just saying though, nothing you've said has changed my opinion that the Hawks should be going after Mitch Marner.
He obviously will make them better. That's basically what it is. It's just, I don't think the Hawks need to be spending $13+ million on a player that's not one of their own.
If he hits the open market, I forgot who it was that tweeted. One of the Hockey Insider was like, if Mitch Marner hits the open market, he's going to be demanding more than $13 million. He's like, it's going to be between 13 or 14 and 15 probably.
Get the fuck out of here. No fucking way.
There is zero reason why the Hawks should be even considering that when you have to pay in the next 3 years Connor Bedard, Frank Nazar, Korchinski, Levshunov, Renzel, Oliver Moore, and that's just the start. You have Spencer Knight coming up too.
If you can get Marner to agree to 11.5, cool. 13+, I don't know about that. The second you bring Marner into your team as the highest paid player, you're basically saying, this is your team. Now lead this team to success. I don't think that Mitch Marner is going to be the type of player that leads a team to success. I think he was on a really good team that had two other guys that were the leaders. But I don't know. We'll see.
Do you think Chicago, though, still? I mean, I'm gonna get ahead of it. I'm not comparing Chicago's media and the market to Toronto at all. But Chicago is still a major city. It is still considered one of the top markets. I mean, fans are still pretty brutal, in terms of, I mean, they still,
I don't think they're going to yell at him walking down the street.
Right. But do you still think that there would be enough pressure from fans and media if that truly is an issue for Marner, if that the pressure from the fans and the media is what hinders him from, taking that success into the playoffs? Do you think that could still be a factor in Chicago?
No.
Okay. I'm just generally asking.
I don't think that there's like the same type of scrutiny that the players face, as well as that just, it's been the longest Stanley Cup drought in the entire league.
That's fair.
No, that's also it's basically like they're the Chicago Cubs of Canada.
So they're not lovable.
I mean, in Canada, like maybe. I feel like
I don't know. It seems like a lot of people hate them too.
I think it's mainly because of their fans.
Yeah, like I said, I was getting in front of it. Like I wasn't trying to compare Toronto and Chicago as like the same tier. I mean, when you look at major cities like Chicago, New York, like that, like they do still have a certain buzz among them, and then they are covered a little bit more than your Buffalo, your Utah, your other market teams. So like I just was wondering if any type of media pressure can that be a concern that might deter Marner from coming to a team like this or not.
I think the only team that has more media pressure or just as equal media pressure is Montreal. That's it. I think every other team, it would feel like, oh, this is nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, too, look at Phil Kessel, man. He got it in Toronto, goes to Pittsburgh, and it's Cup, and then goes to Arizona, even less media.
Yeah.
And still is put up huge numbers. It's just I feel like Toronto is just a cancer, man. Like in sense of like they're just so hard on their teams and their players and all that kind of stuff. Like,
oh yeah,
it blows my mind that anybody would want to play on there.
Because you're like you said before, it's like you're treated like a god when you guys are playing good.
Surprising, yeah. I don't know, but with that being said, though, it's like so Marner. All eyes are on Marner. Come July 1st, I feel like it's gonna be a Tavares situation where it's not coming July 1st. It's gonna be Marner watch 2025 and where's he gonna go, and it's gonna be a couple days or whatever of meeting with teams and all that kind of stuff. And it's like if it gets to that point, it's like I hope we hear Connor Bedard has signed for X, Frankie Nazar has signed for X, like, and then it's like, oh, by the way, the Blackhawks signed. It's like if we have Bedard and Frankie and all those guys that can be extended starting July 1st locked in, and there's still like shows like a decent amount of cap space for next, because I know they won't take place for the following season. They'll still be playing on their rookie deals. Yes. But it's like I think if those guys get locked in and you kind of have an idea of where they're going to be after the next couple of years, conversation might change a little bit.
Yeah. I just think too, like if the Hawks really do picture themselves pursuing Mitch Marner, you might notice it in who they draft.
That's true.
Because I'm thinking, like, I mean, there was talks too about like Brad Treliving, discussing a trade for Marner's signing rights just so they get like anything, just some sort of asset. So that's a possibility, but like in my mind, it's like if you are going to pursue Marner super hard, you better draft like Porter Martone because otherwise this team's going to just be really small up front.
But that's also the double-edged sword there, though. Mm-hmm. It's like you draft Martone with the plan of going for Marner, and then you swing and you miss.
Yeah, and then you're stuck with Martone. That's not a bad idea, though.
No, but I'm just saying though, like, but then it's like you could have had like a Misa or a Higgins potentially, where we needed that extra skill player. I feel like that. Mm-hmm. I truly believe the Hawks are that one. They need that one more skill player. I know they're both smaller guys, and the Hawks already have a bunch of smaller guys, but they need that one more skill guy. And then it's like, boom, you can start filling. You could find a Martone type player, a big guy. You can find them later in the rounds. You can find them in free agency. You can find them via trade. That skill forward is so difficult to find, I think, right now, in terms of a guy that can come in and potentially be in your top 6 right away.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is what the Hawks, I think, truly need. They're missing that right now.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, also somebody that fits the timeline too. So it just makes sense to do that through the draft.
Right. 100%.
We said we wouldn't talk the draft.
No, but I mean, it connected. We said it connected. I said
that's true.
But then it's like, so there's other pieces. So I mean, with
just skip Brock Besser and call it a day.
So that's the thing that was coming on next. So it's like you can go for Mitch Marner, and then there's still 2 players that I think the Hawks should keep tabs on over Marner. Obviously, one is Brock Besser. We've talked about it. We've harped on it. We know him. We like him, and we've both put him in our dream opening night roster.
Mm-hmm.
The other name that I'm really interested in, and it's a player that I don't know if he would come out here, but Nicholas Ehlers from the Winnipeg Jets. Nikolai Ehlers from the Jets. 32 Thoughts, they were talking about him, becoming up, owed a contract this year. He didn't speak with the media because he left right away after the Jets got eliminated to go play in the World Championship. Freeman pointed out that he was 7th among Jets forwards in ice time with like 13 minutes throughout the playoffs.
Whoa, that's fucked.
So he's kind of wondering, like, is that going to be his role if he decides to stay with the Jets? Is that something that he's okay with? Does he want a chance to play more? And he comes to the Blackhawks. The Hawks sign him. He's instantly a top 6 player. He's going to be playing, top 3 minutes among forwards, top 4 minutes among forwards. That's a player that I think you can get for a decent term, and it's not going to break the bank, and it automatically makes that forward group better.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. It's just, I don't know. I'm not super high on Nikolai Ehlers. I don't know why. I just feel like he's somebody that has just like thrived in his environment there, that I just feel like he won't do as well elsewhere. That's all I feel.
Yeah. I think he would be like my third choice.
With Marner being 1.
Besser 1. Don't have a second. And then Ehlers.
Ryan Donato too.
Ryan Donato. I mean, technically, it could be Ryan Donato at 2.
Sam Bennett.
I wouldn't hate Sam. Like, the more I watch Sam Bennett play, I mean, he's a piece of shit, but man,
yeah, he's a pain in the ass, huh?
He's a kind of guy. He's not that Brad Marchand. Like, he's a piece of shit that I wouldn't mind having on my team.
Yeah, I feel like there's no one else that's like in that 50-plus point range.
It's not a great free agent class this year. It really isn't. And
I think the top three or four players that are available, like Mitch Marner, is what makes it like such a good, like an interesting summer. But I think you're right. Like after Marner, it's Besser and Ehlers and Sam Bennett, and then I think that's kind of like it.
Yeah, it's like it's not anybody you're gonna want to be like, oh, we gotta break the bank to go out and get and pitch and all this kind of stuff.
Tavares is also there.
I wouldn't mind Tavares.
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but I mean, if they're gonna bring in like an older guy to play like a role,
hey. Yeah, I just think for him though, it's still
there's zero chance he come to Chicago. Yeah. Zero chance.
Unless he wants to help us get to maybe the second round and not go any further.
What we need to do is we have to have him on the team, get us in a playoff position by the deadline, and then we flip him. Mm-hmm. So we still get in the playoffs. He gets a chance to go to the playoffs and go for his cup. And we don't have the curse of the not past second round of John Tavares.
Yeah. Honestly, like I think Donato is still like one of the top 5 possible free agents this summer. And it's funny because like everybody's like, oh, he's not going to repeat what he did this past season. It's like, yeah, I kind of get it, but also because he hasn't like done it before. But I think with the way that he was talking about how he changed the way he trained last year and like that really working out for him immediately. So I can still see him like doing something similar. Like I think he's going to easily get 20 goals.
Yeah, like, I think it is a big reach to say he's going to match what he's doing as going into him being 30 years old.
Fucking 40 goals next year.
But hey, and if he does it on the Blackhawks, I would love to be proven wrong there kind of thing. I think it's a little bit more reasonable to assume that it's not going to get to that again. But if he can be a 2020 guy, 2030, still be up there. I mean, that I wouldn't hate.
Yeah.
It's just now it's the price tag because I mean, obviously he's going to get a boost. I mean, he's only making $2 million?
Two.
Yeah. Yeah, he's obviously going to probably be in that $6 million range. I bet with the cap going up, someone's going to give him 6.
No,
I think so. Yeah, somebody will offer him that.
No, I think it's going to be like 4.5.
Dude, I'm not. There are dumber contracts been thrown out there when the cap was tight.
Let's just get Patty Kane and call it a day.
But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be interesting and. Sure, we're going to talk about this a million more times of Marner, Besser, Ehlers.
Yep, we get another month, another 5-6 weeks of this.
Yeah, Jesus. Let's wrap this up here with some conference final talk real quick. Florida versus Carolina. You got the defending Stanley Cup champions versus the winless in the conference final since
0-13.
The last time the Carolina Hurricanes won a Eastern Conference final game, Rob Brindamore was on the team playing.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's nuts to me.
Yeah.
But Florida took game 1, 5-2. You took Carolina in this series. I'm taking Florida just because I as much as I don't want Seth Jones.
Fuck Florida.
Yeah. I think it's Florida's game, I think, matches up better to take down Carolina than Carolina's game does to take down Florida.
Fuck Florida. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah. It's the way these two teams play. It's whoever gets the first goal. It's literally first goal wins essentially because just the way they both are able to shut things down and prevent teams from scoring on them once they get the lead. It's going to be tough. And Florida proved that yesterday when they went up and Carolina just could not get things going.
Hey, and then that's why you shoot the puck at Brad Marchand.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I think it's even better is that Gostisbehere was like, yeah, no, I shot it at him. He annoyed me. Like, and
Yeah, he took a run at me, pissed me
yeah,
off, so I
I
fucking
like
shot
that.
it at him.
Yeah, I love it. So you took Carolina. What do you? Obviously, it's not in 1. Not in 4. But what are you taking them in 5?
Yeah, for sure. Carolina in -4.
-4. Yeah, I'm
They're
taking
gonna continue to fucking lose every game.
Florida in 4, baby.
That's probably what's gonna happen.
Yeah. And then you over to the Western Conference. You have before we get into the Western Conference, can we just talk about like the crazy thing with Mark Scheifele? His dad passing the morning,
and then it's his fault that they lost.
the night it was the night before, the early morning, he finds out his dad passed away, decides he's gonna play, and then proceeds to score the very first goal.
Yep.
In the was a game. It was a game. No, it was game 6, right?
It was game 6. Yeah, it did not go 7.
Yeah.
It was. That's what a crazy thing. I think we all kind of had an idea that he was going to probably score if he played that night. And first one, home,
and he played fantastic that game.
Yeah,
up until
Hellebuck too actually played really well, which quieted a lot of people. That was a really good game.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that he was the one that got the penalty.
The only penalty in the entire game.
That's nuts. That is nuts. But that's like, you fucking love the officials for that one. Like, let the boys play. Let them decide this on their own.
And it was such an inopportune time to take a penalty too, because it's the last minute of the third period. So they go into OT on the power play, and it's like,
did you think that was
brutal?
Did you think that should have been a penalty shot?
I could have seen it, but I feel like the refs didn't want that to be the decider.
Yeah.
You know, like, because, I mean, if you call that a penalty shot and Hellbuck makes a save, the team's probably like, just give us the fucking power play.
Yeah.
You know?
You're giving the Jets all the momentum going to overtime.
Yeah. And if it goes the other way and like they score on the penalty shot, you're the Jets, you're kind of like, how the fuck do you call a penalty shot in the last minute of an elimination game?
Yeah.
I mean, like they gave him a chance to kill it. That's kind of all it was.
The other thing that I thought was really funny about that game was going into the intermission for overtime. Was it Emily Kaplan or Leah Hextall, whatever? I think it was Hextall, because it was a stupid question. She was asking about, like, she was talking to Tyler Sagan, and she was asking like, oh, is it hard or whatever to get going, when you start a power play, get a power play, then you have the intermission, then the power play going again, and Tyler Sagan's like, well, I'm not going to be starting, so it doesn't really concern me too much. And then he proceeds to get the main assist on the game-winning goal.
Was it Jackie Redmond?
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
No.
That's really funny, though. Yeah, I feel like if it's an intelligent, good question, it's Emily Kaplan. If it's dumb, it's Leah Hextall. And if it's like, it's just like, okay, that was a girl that asked the question, then it's Jackie Redmond.
Yeah. So it's Dallas versus Edmonton. They're playing game 1 right now. Edmonton's up 3-1 going into the second intermission. I'm taking Dallas in this one still.
I think Dallas is so deep. They're so deep. They have the better goalie.
Fucking
better team.
Let Mikko Rantanen off his leash and go. That's gonna be fun.
Dude, they just have a full finished lineup.
Yeah.
It's like Granlund, Rupe Hintz, and Rantanen, and then it's fucking like Lindell and Heiskanen. There's 17 fucking Finnish players in the NHL, and a majority of them are on Carolina and Dallas. And actually Florida too. It's like all the teams left basically have like Finnish players except for Edmonton.
And Dallas is healthy now too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Well, I just saw that at the kind of in the first period, they showed that apparently Matthias Ekholm is also skating now, or he started skating on Monday.
Oh, but he's not playing, right?
Not right now. No.
Okay. Yeah.
He could be back, which is crazy.
Yeah, because
I thought he was done for their playoffs.
Because they said like 15 weeks.
Is that what they said? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's the playoffs. You fucking painkillers. This is how you get addicted.
So, all right. Episode 320. What do you want to call it?
I mean, I wish that it was like confirmed Blashill was going to be the coach, but
how about welcome Blashill? Question mark.
Could be you. Head coach announcement. Is that maybe we do that? Bench boss announcement.
I'll play around with it.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast feed, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the big two. You can find us on all of them, though. You subscribe to the YouTube channel, social media at WCB Podcast. And yeah, we will see you on the next one.
All right. Bye, boys. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the WCB Podcast. Be sure to subscribe wherever you heard this podcast. To connect with Jarom and Tanner, check out the boys at WCB Podcast on all social media. We'll see you next time.